Thank you and welcome back to the program. Today we're talking with Mr. Mike Bracchi, a candidate for Wilton Manors City Commissioner. Mike, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you. Thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule. So tell us why you decided to run for a commissioner in Wilton Manors.
Yeah, great question. I have been here for about 8 years living in Wilton Manors, and I absolutely love it here. I've never experienced such a strong sense of community as I have here in Wilton. And I've lived up in New York and Manhattan, and it's just not the same. I really want to live here in the next 10, 20, 30 years, but I'm afraid that if we don't have progress within our city, that we will be left behind. We've had years of stagnation while our neighbors to the north and neighbors to the south continue pushing forward, revitalizing areas of their city that are critical to their community. So I think we need to have that progress, we need to have change, and to do that, we need to have new leadership.
Yes. Now, I know you've had a career as a pharmacist, as in the legal field. Do you believe that those jobs have qualify you for this position?
Yeah, absolutely. So by training, I'm a clinical pharmacist, and
Yes.
I'm an attorney. I have a doctorate in pharmacy, a doctorate in law, and then I got a master's in business management and leadership along the way. Mainly worked in hospital management with progressive levels of leadership experience, and I've been a pharmacy executive for a number of years, managing a budget of over $350 million, whereas the Wilton Manors budget is about $40 million. I'm the only candidate and would be the only one on the commission that has any large private business background, specifically as an executive. And I think at this time, we are in a critical place within our city and within our country, and that we need someone with a strong business background to help drive our city forward.
Yes. So you're a sitting member of the Budget Review Committee. Tell our viewers what that entails and how that experience will lend itself to you as a commissioner.
Right. I'm the current chair of the committee this year, and what we do is we work with the city manager, city finance director, and all the city department heads to work through their budgets. We are an oversight committee. We may take a look and reprioritize some of the things that they may have, and we'll just go through the budget to make sure that our tax dollars we think are being spent appropriately. And then together we will propose that to the city commission for approval, or they'll go through it and make some other changes themselves. But we really put a proposed budget forward to them.
Okay. Now, there are currently there are 4 sitting commissioners that each serve for more than a decade each. Now, many feel that it's time for fresh ideas to revitalize the city. What initiatives would you bring to the table if elected?
Yeah, I'm really focused on 3 things. The first is quality of life, comprising getting our businesses reopened and our residents back to work. Also comprising crime and public safety, and then environmental factors. The second thing I want to focus on is making smart economic decisions within our city, so we have economic growth for long-term sustainability. And then the third one is just financial responsibility and fiscal transparency to ensure that we're spending the dollars where we should be spending them and eliminating any personal agendas and pet projects.
If your campaign had a signature issue, sir, what would that be?
Yeah, so, like I just said, I have my 3 priorities, and I really think our city needs to be making those smart investments in infrastructure and for economic growth, so we have that long-term sustainability. That would be my priority.
With so much civil unrest related to America's century-long history of racism and social injustice, what would you bring to Wilton Manors to help combat these issues plaguing the Black minority communities, even if only on the local level?
Right. We are a tourist destination, so we do have a lot of folks coming into our city. I think city staff, police department needs to be representative of the community that we serve. So we would need to take a look at that. I'm very big on using data to make decisions. So we would need to take a look back to see if our city has had long-term issues with race, and not just with race, but with women and there's so many other variables that go into play there. And then make our city representative. And if that means hiring more minorities or more women, then that's what we need to do. What I also think we need to do is provide better training. And if there is an issue, right, training could stop it from the beginning. Some people may think they're doing the right thing, but in actuality, it may not be. So I think with additional and proper training, we can help prevent any issues that may arise in the future.
Oh, thank you very much. That's a wonderful answer. Now, there's obviously been a lot going on politically in our country right now. But what excites me is that there's definitely been a renewed interest in politics. Even on the local level, there are more young people who are also expressing interest in getting involved. Now, for our viewers who aren't familiar with you, or who are just getting interested in politics now, what would you like to make sure that they take away from this interview?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. More younger people are getting involved. Most of the people running for the commissioner are between about 35 and 45. Most of us
Yes.
are, which is really good. It's something our city has not seen in a really long time. So that's fantastic. So kudos to everyone that's running. The takeaway I want people to know and understand is you have a lot of choices. We have somewhat similar platform, but we really need someone in office in our city and in our country that has the right character, the right ethics, and the right professionalism to actually work with members of our city at a city commission period. So what people I think need to think about is who has that real world experience that matters and that leadership that counts. So you're going to hear everyone saying leadership, 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 but is it real world experience that could be applied to the city? And does that leadership experience count? Those are the biggest takeaways.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but are you suggesting that there are candidates that are less than ethical, less than great ethics?
I'm just saying voters need to decide who has
Yes.
the character and the ethics to represent their city, and
Yes.
who has the real world experience that matters. We all have real world experience. How does it matter to applying it to a city commission role? And do people have leadership experience that counts? 'Cause everyone's going to say they're a leader, but so the voters need to decide based on everyone's backgrounds.
Absolutely. Mr. Bracchi, thank you so much
Great.
for speaking with us this morning. I am glad that you took your questions, and good luck with your campaigns there.
Great. Thanks so much. Like Mike.